It says, honor thy mother. Honor thy mother. Can we all say that? Honor thy mother. And we've heard it before. And we thought that we do it out of just simple respect and reverence to our mothers. But really, it's a directive. It's a directive to come to understand and recognize the source of life and nurturing. Think about that. Honor thy mother. But you're honoring the source of life and the nurturing ways of mothers. Now, that term mother, we probably need to expand it today because some people haven't been biological mothers, but they stand in the gap. They are mothers, and they've engaged in mothering. And so in that mothering spirit, they've been engaged in motherhood. And so with that, we come to understand that honor thy mother is divine. It's not something we should think occasionally I want to do. Sometimes I'll do it. It means all the time. If we're thinking at a higher level, we're thinking honor the source of life. And that bond, again, it's a sacred bond between God and a woman. What do we always say? Papa's maybe, mama's baby. And sometimes we say, daddy's maybe, but mama's always. Can we all rise? You know we're getting up again. Because when we think about motherhood and that feminine characteristic trait, it's something special. Now, men, we have this in us, but it's a persona that we don't like to show very often. We like to play everything close to the chest, be tough and rugged. Nothing bothers me. But you have that mothering instinct quality, that feminine characteristic that says, I need to be nurturing. And we do it all the time. We tend to be tough love agents. But you have it in you. So men, I want you to just touch your chest and say, I am woman. Hear me roar. So now that we're on the same level playing field, we're all women throughout this message. Repeat after me. Within me flows the infinite spirit of a mother's love, guiding, nurturing, and enriching my journey. This unconditional love source is my sanctuary, my strength, and my greatest blessing, illuminating every step with warmth and grace. I commit to demonstrating a mother's love through nurture, through acts of patience, kindness, and enduring faith forever and a day. You may be seated. I always like to say forever and a day. It's really not correct, but forever and a day makes sure we seal the deal. Steve, you know? Like, we for real about this, forever and a day. Like, if I die today, I'm still going to do it tomorrow. And so that stanza, near the end, it calls for action to demonstrate a mother's loving nature. What does it say? Love is patient. Love is kind. Love doesn't envy. All of those things go into the making of a mother's love. And it has to endure forever. So today it's all about coming up with a new law And that law for us today is love all women. Law. Love all women. Can we say that? Love all women. Daddies maybe. Mamas always. And that resonates with me because mothers are incredibly powerful. If you've had a powerful mother, you know how powerful they are. Mothers get it done. Mothers make stuff happen. Mothers make you feel good. Mothers make you feel better than you know you are at that time. Mothers hold a high watch, knowing that if I'm nurturing and caring, if I'm there for you, you can rise up above any obstacles, challenges that you face. Mama's coming. That's what we used to say in my house. Mama's coming. And we knew when Mama was coming, something was about to happen. Now, if we were doing something bad, something was about to happen. Because somebody in the group, Brett, said, wait till Mama gets here, and I'm going to tell Mama on you. So that was the time, and usually it was Debbie saying, I'm going to tell Mama on you because she couldn't handle me at the time, babysitting me. So I run and hide in the closet. But Mama's coming. Mama can make it all better. A boo-boo, a breakup, a breakdown, a hurt feeling, a disappointment. Mama can make it better. That's always the theme around Mama. Mama can do the incredible, the supernatural. Every child, even in adulthood, in the midst of hurt, harm, and danger, we're always thinking about if Mama was just here. Can I make my way back to Mama? Even in situations where it's life-threatening, we see the cry out for Mama. Thinking about George Floyd, that just intrigued me. There he was, laying on the ground. Police officers' knee on his throat, saying, I can't breathe. Then his last words were, Mama. Mama, help me. But that's all of us, isn't it? We reflect back on the kind of love that mamas give. It's unconditional, it's relentless, it's always present. And we crave that love of a mother. And so it's no surprise that Eric Gardner, George Floyd, and others had that experience of taking their last breaths and saying, where's my mother? Mama can make it better. And the thing about George Floyd is that his mother had died 2 years prior to this incident. But all he could do was think about, if I could just connect with my mother, there's a bond there that could make everything better. Can make everything all right. Mothers have a way of having that connection with a child that we just know everything is going to get better. So this morning, we gathered to celebrate motherhood, to celebrate all the women who've engaged in the art and science of raising a child. So we salute you. I was thinking about this message. And when you're preparing for a message, you go through a lot of study, a lot of silence. And you try to think of biblical passages that relate to driving home the message that you're trying to get across. And you spend hours, Reverend Wilma, in preparation. And all of it boils down to 20 to 30 minutes. And then you look at your notes the night before and you're trying to get your slides to somebody like Brett and you say, if I could just condense this down to a few minutes. Because if I gave you all of it, it'll probably take a couple of weeks. Can we just stay here a couple of weeks? I'll buy everybody popcorn and drinks. We just stay for a couple weeks and I can do my full message. But in the absence of that time, I want us to just turn our thoughts to a story in the Bible. In the book of John, chapter 12, there was a party going on. Anybody ever been to a party? Raise your hand if you ever been to a real party, a real good party. That's just about everybody. Anybody been to a good nightclub recently? Oh, everybody. Michael started to put his hand up, didn't put it down like. But in the book of John, chapter 12, there's a party going on. And it's a good party. Why are they having a party? Because Jesus is coming to town. Now, at this time, Jesus' popularity was soaring. He had performed miracles. He saved lives. He had already resurrected Lazarus from the dead. And so, in the spirit of celebrating, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus decided to have a little gathering. Just a few friends over for some spirits. Everybody knows what spirits are, right? And some refreshments. But his popularity had grown to the point to where word got out about this party, and everybody wanted to be there. And so Mary, Martha, and Lazarus lost control of this party because everybody's there. But then Mary took a look in the eyes of Jesus, having a bond of friendship and the nurturing spirit that she had. She looked in Jesus' eyes. And she said, "You look tired. You look like you've been on a journey, like you had challenges, obstacles." And so what did she do? She went to the cupboard and she got an alabaster box of ointment. And after everyone had left, she began to pour the ointment, which was perfume, on Jesus' feet. And so we look at John 12:3. Then Mary took out an alabaster jar filled with ointment, an expensive perfume. She poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. Now, I don't know how many women here today would take their hair and wipe my feet. Your significant other's feet. But she did. And she was doing this out of honor of Jesus, knowing that something was about to happen in his life, a significant event. So she wanted to honor him for all the things he'd done in the past and all the things that he would do. But it created tension in the air. Because the 12 disciples were there. And they had been on this path, this journey with Jesus, of spreading the gospel, the good news. And they saw her take out this expensive perfume and pour it on the feet of Jesus. The tension was they thought, why are you pouring this expensive perfume on Jesus' feet when we could sell this for money and help out more people? Now, the main person who was leading this charge was Judas. Judas, as we know, was a thief, right? But a thief is thinking anything of value in a house that could be sold, you sell it. Why would you pour expensive perfume on Jesus' feet? Tension created. Tension between doing what's right to honor and what the world expects of you. You ever been in that situation where the world expects you to do something and you should do something else in honor of your spiritual principles, your spiritual values? So Mary took out an alabaster jar filled with ointment, expensive perfume. She poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with fragrance of the perfume. What do we know about fragrance of perfume? What do we know? We all wear perfume, we wear cologne. And if it's expensive, what happens? It smells. There's an aroma, and it's engaging. This aroma pulls us to its source. It continues to just pull us back to source. Wherever that perfume is, that's where you want to be. It's the craving. Isn't it, men? You smell some good perfume, don't you want to just go to her? Go to him? Ladies, when you smell a good cologne on a man, somebody. That is my answer. So, it's expensive perfume out of an alabaster jar. Expensive. Can we say expensive? This is not cheap. This is not high karate. Old Spice. Brut by Fabergé. Cheap. Mary has made a decision that this is significant. But what do we know, again, about fragrance? It fills the room. But they call it an ointment too. And so I'm trying to reconcile. It's an ointment, and it's a perfume. It's perfume, and it's an ointment. An ointment, it heals. An ointment soothes. An ointment makes you feel better. And so in that state of mind, that alabaster jar is something that every mother gets at the birth of a child. It's an ointment that she can pull out any time, and under any circumstances, she can pull out this ointment and make everything better. That alabaster jar, this situation, is a metaphor for selfless giving. See, Mary knew how expensive this perfume was, but at the same time, she knew that Jesus needed nurturing. And so, the thing about motherhood is, what do we know? Mothers go to great cost for their child. Mothers will give their last bit of anything for their child. And so we see mothers in that role of being the giver, teaching us, nurturing us, and leading us. And that's what they do. And so this fragrance is an anointing of Jesus for the next stage of life. Now there's a quote that I'm very interested in sharing with you. And that quote says, mothers pour out their love like precious ointment, often at the great personal cost to to nurture us and guide us. Think about that. How many of the women here have given, sacrifice in the name of raising your child? Raise your hand. And they come to be expected to do that. Well, there's a quote, Donnie. Next slide. Celia Ayers said this. Let's read it. The motherhood of God is love united with wisdom. The mindset in motherhood thought is to direct the child from the downward to the upward vision, and no matter what the problem may be, to change their thinking from the destructive to the constructive side. Do we understand this? Do we understand this? So a mother sometimes has to engage in tough love, right? Oftentimes I used to hear things like, do you understand English? Do you understand what I'm saying? When I tell you something, I shouldn't have to repeat myself. Just do it. And that's like the strong arm of a mother, right? But mother knows what? Mother knows what? Mother knows best. And what we see oftentimes in mother is saving us from being destructive to being constructive in our lifetimes. How many times do we want to venture out on our own and be destructive? Daily. Particularly as a child. We want to reach out and touch everything, wander everywhere, and we continue this into adulthood, don't we? We continue to just wander and wander. And who do we come back to? Mama. And there's so many times that I proclaim myself as a mama's boy. Why do I say I'm a mama's boy? Because any time that something was going wrong, I'd find my way back to mama. So when mama was cooking, I was in the kitchen. And the thing about the kitchen experience with mama is she shares thoughts with you on how you should live your life. And she share food with you. And everybody knows my story. I was an overweight kid. And it was because I was a mama's boy. My mama would just stuff me with food. Anytime I was unhappy, experienced something negative, would fall down, my mother would just give me food. And so there I was, this fat little boy with chubby cheeks that everybody liked to just pull on. And then the kids, when I went to school, they used to call me fat boy. I know, it was awful. I was bullied before bullying was bullying. And so they used to just call me fat boy, and I used to come home. My mother used to have the talk with you. Your mother ever had to talk with you? My mother used to say, you're not fat, you're just big-boned. And that made everything better. And so I went through life thinking, I'm not fat. I'm just big-boned. And someday, being big-boned is going to pay off. But it is our mother having those conversations with you like no other mother can do. No man can do it. When you fall down, a man is going to tell you what? Get up. Quit crying. Be a man. But the mother would take that same fallen child and go to that child, pick him or her up, and say, come with me. Everything is going to be all right. And that's what we appreciate about a mother, knowing that she understands that in the down moments of our life, she lifts our spirit up. It's the heart of motherhood. Sometimes people ask me, Is your mother still alive? See, I had the unique experience of my mother transitioning when I was young. The bad thing about it is that I had to go through life trying to piecemeal that missing bond between the mother and the son. And anybody here who lost their mom, at some point you realize that when you wake up that next day and she's not there, something's missing. But you still feel that emotional bond. I always say the bad thing about what my friends experience now is that at some point they go through the transition of a mother. And it's one of the scariest experiences you'll ever face. Because mothers are special. And they know what to say at the right moment. Mothers have this way of being at the highest level of consciousness. Knowing that love requires two key ingredients: forgiveness and acceptance. That forgiveness and acceptance that we go through life craving at the same level that our mother gave us. But the challenge for us, the opportunity this day, is to realize that what we've experienced through our love relationship with our mothers is something that we're supposed to demonstrate in our relationships, and never to be afraid to love at a higher level. Never be afraid to forgive, and never be afraid to accept people as they are. May we all stand. Mothers, we see you. And we see all the sacrifices you made and that you still make in the making of us, in the elevation of us. We thank you for holding the high watch for us as we played in the valley. And so we salute you on this day. Let's do an affirmation. I embrace the divine feminine and the motherhood nature within me. I am filled with precious ointment, ready to pour out as a divine expression of unconditional love. Today, I affirm my commitment to personify my feminine spirit of selfless giving. Mother's Day. This Mother's Day, I stand firm in the power of maternal wisdom and nurturing. I commit to being a beacon of hope and positivity for everyone seeking love, healing, and connection. Put your hand on your chest and say, I am mother. I am mother And I stand in the gap for everyone, anyone who needs love, healing, and connection. And so it is. Can you look at everyone around you and just say, I am love, and I know how to love. I will give love. I will receive love because I am love. I'm not going to play with love. I'm going to be love because I want to be loved, and I want to be loved at a higher level than I've ever experienced before. And I know at my highest self that I don't just love, I am love. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Mother, for loving me and letting me know that my best self is me loving at a higher level than I've ever loved before. And so it is. Amen. You may be seated. Thank you for having me this morning, and God bless each and every one of you.